Hello and welcome to another... What did I call this again? Backlog Weekly. I decided to try a bit of a different format with this thing from here on out, because the old format was sort of supposed to be, you know, try to make it more into a real YouTube video and not cut a lot of it out, make like a script and everything. I was trying to make stuff like make a script and talk about everything in really well, like well put sentences and everything. Then try to edit out all the fat from it and stuff like that, but that never really worked out. And it didn't quite feel like it's ever going to work out either. Of course I didn't have my face on back then. That was especially because now I can't really edit this nearly as much, because you're gonna see the skips. I'm now playing the game real time. I've decided to make this a lot more like I do in my live streams, because I feel a lot more comfortable with live streaming. So, in terms of actual, like, you know, the show's format, base idea is still the same as before. I'm here to talk about what I've been doing in the last week since I did the last video, of course. Now the last video is a lot longer while away, so yeah, a few games that we're gonna pass in the, you know. We're just gonna talk about them really quickly, not really go into them. The basic idea is still to give an opportunity for those who don't want to waste hours of their lives watching me in my live stream section, but sort of feel like they might be interested in hearing about the overall progress of my backlog quest. This is for them. They can come in here, look at this video. It takes 10 minutes instead of looking throughout big chunks of my stream, which will take hours. So I stream quite a lot, and I'm very happy about that. So yeah, finally that out of the way. The games. I think the last one what I really wanted to make a video of, but never got around to, was Hand of Fate. This was a game that I sort of forced on everyone. I made a very corrupted poll on that game, which was the poll had Hand of Fate and no other option. The second option was you have no other option. So I made that very corrupted. Very corrupted with that. Change the map so you can have a look at something else. But that game was very good. You might have heard about it. It's sort of, it makes a procedurally generated dungeon for you from a cards in sort of a deck. So it makes you get to choose the cards to your deck to some degree at least, and then it's sort of those come in random order. So it's sort of procedurally generated, and it makes you sort of one dungeon at a time. If you die in the dungeon, it makes you a new one. But if it doesn't reset your whole progress, it just resets that one particular dungeon. And then you get more items. You get item cards you get item cards and event cards. You have two decks that you can build, and a lot of the event cards have like tokens in them. So you have to sort of successfully do something within that event, and you get more cards, which can be even more event cards, or they can be item cards. I can never get that. But yeah, that was a really good game, and it gets quite exciting. And there's an endless mode too for once. It took me probably probably 15 hours maybe. Like, I'm gonna say 15 hours about. That it took me 15-17 hours to play through the game, and it has an endless mode after that. Which is gonna be especially good if you wanna unlock everything. You can do the endless mode. And especially if you wanna unlock everything, there's gonna be a lot of stuff in that game. You can easily get probably like 30-40 hours out of that if you wanna unlock everything. What a good game. After that, I may be missing some games, but I think after that I went into... Actually, after that game I went into this game. I did Crash Team Racing. Mainly did the story mode, didn't take too long. It was, I think, 2 casts, about 6 hours. I think it was about 6 hours for the storyline, and then I did an extra 3 hours because I had to go to the summer cabin. Cabin after that, so I had like an extra day where I Didn't feel like starting a new game. But yeah, that wasn't too long. Also really enjoyed it, that's why I decided to put it in here. I was actually thinking I might wanna try and get some of the things that I haven't gotten in this game, like those CTR tokens. I've gotten the relics and everything, but CTR tokens, I sort of wanted to get those. Obviously not gonna happen. Like, right now I can see it's obviously not gonna happen, I'm gonna worry about that. But yeah, really good game. Would recommend. That was good. Would recommend this game as well. After this game I think I went into Earthworm Jim, and I can say straight off the bat I would not recommend that game. It had its good moments, it had its, you know, pleasant moments. I especially liked the really off-the-wall type of humor that that game has. Really like that. It even had it actually had an area where there were just some sort of hillbilly guys with shotguns in outhouses. And they probably had the diarrhea of a lifetime. There was just brown liquid blowing all over the place, like literally. Literally that was how it was. But I'm not gonna paint any prettier pictures of that. It was bad though. It was all done in a comic way though, so it wasn't too gross, but it was still gross. Yeah, it had its good moments, but ultimately it had sort of wonky controls, and especially camera controls were just all over the place. Half of the game's difficulty just comes from trying to control the camera. And ultimately what killed that game was, and I didn't actually beat that game, I nulled it. I ended up nulling that game because it requires you to gather everything. It's like if you think about Spyro, where you have to collect the orbs or the dragon eggs or something like that. You know, in Spyro you don't have to collect all of those. In Earthworm Jim you do. You need all of them to get to the end. Hello. That's something new. Oh, there's a secret there. Yeah, in Earthworm Jim you have to collect all of the goddamn things. I don't know how to get there now. Yeah, you need to collect all of them. Which... Alright, never mind. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Yeah. And it would have been fine. I actually got all but 2 of them. But the last level has 2 of those golden udders, which is what you're collecting. It has 2 of them that are so fucking horrible. Like, horribly difficult. I couldn't even get a good start to those. Like, I couldn't even get started in the sort of quest things or tasks that, whatever challenges I guess you should call them. Just couldn't get anything done with those, so... And I had played for quite a while and I was just not in the mood. I'm still not in the mood. Like, it's not good enough game. It's not good, it wasn't a good enough game up to that point that it would have deserved me grinding to... Because they really felt like I probably could have sank 5 hours at least into just those two challenges. And maybe even more. Like, might never have done it, be even able to done them. They just felt like beyond my skill. Like, literally. And especially with the controls and everything. I decided it wasn't worth it, so I dropped that. There's one more game, like I said, I'm playing... Oh yeah, Tomb Raider! That's what I played in the middle. And there might be one more game besides that, but that I can't remember. So let's just say that I went to Tomb Raider, the original, from '96, which is 19 years old now. And that game I could recommend with a reservation, some reservations. Because it definitely takes a lot of patience, like, once you get past the first few levels, especially the levels in that game are just way too long. There was a level that took me like... It has 15 levels, but one of them took me like, I think 3.5 hours to beat one level. And it really gets to you. Especially all the stuff you need to do, the controls are really precise in pretty much in both ways, like you need to be really precise. The controls can be calculated very well, like every step you take is the exact same length every time, so you can make very precise jumps and calculate your jumps very well. But at the same time you also need to. It's not something like you can fool the system by really calculating your jumps. very well, but you need to do that. Otherwise you're dead. You will die immediately. And also in combat especially. Because it's sort of slow-paced. The movement is sort of slow-paced in a way. Like it takes a while to react. It's not exactly... I wouldn't say it has like laggy controls, but it's... Well, it sort of has, but it's intentional lag. So it doesn't feel bad, but you have to take it into account, and the fights are still pretty fast-paced, so they can get really tricky, especially in small rooms. So yeah, there was definitely some parts in that game. And sometimes, you know, what you need to do is just really obscure too. So, it was a good game. In the end, I enjoyed it. Actually, a lot more than I expected to. Especially at the start, I was a bit worried about the game. I wasn't sure at all. But it ended up being really, really good. And I think that's about it. Yeah, I think I've gone through all the good stuff. Let's maybe try to finish the game. Let's try to finish this race just for fun. I can edit a lot of the actual crap out of here. Oh! I was so close to getting that I might have actually gotten that shit. I went right past it, right next to it. And I'm in second place. I'm in first! I could have gotten this, goddammit. Oh, now that's bad. I could have actually gotten that. I didn't even notice that I was doing well. I wasn't even trying. I was just concentrating on talking shit. Talking a lot of crap. Oh dear. Last lap. One sign shot. Too bad. What are you gonna do? Oh, that's a nice ending for the video there. So yeah. Till next week, I'm gonna probably be talking at... Next week's thing is probably gonna be all about I Have No Mouth in a stream. It's a pretty interesting game, you might wanna come check it out. But for now, thank you very much for watching and goodbye.